We are live.
Okay.
Greetings. Welcome to another episode of Educeumm. This is a very special episode.
So my island to you.
As you can see, my daughter will be in the background the whole entire time because my two sitters are on camera with me. Today we have 4 generations with us. Do you guys hear that feedback?
I do hear something squirking.
Yeah.
I wonder what is it. It's only when you talk, ChyNa.
Okay. Okay. We're not going to worry about it. Just keep going. I'll worry about it later. Okay. So, is that better?
Sounds
better? Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Like I said, this is a special episode of Educeumm. We have 4 generations today. We're going to be talking about faith. It was supposed to be part of our Kwanzaa week, but Kwanzaa kind of got away from us. But faith is still an important concept to talk. So, discussing today. For those of you who don't know, Educeumm is a platform where we have discussions. Sometimes the conversations are a bit uncomfortable, but we tackle the content anyway, and we have great dialogue so that we can move forward. Today with us, I have my grandmother, Lady Georgia Hudson, and I also have my mom, Agnolia B. And then I'm sure you will have the pleasure of meeting before this episode is over. 4th generation, Agnolia B. Johnson. Okay, she's the 3rd Agnolia. She's named after her grandmother, who is named after her grandmother. So, like I said, you got 4 generations today talking about faith. So I'm going to quickly pass the baton and just give the 2 ladies an opportunity to introduce themselves, and then I'll go ahead and get started. Grandma, you can introduce yourself first.
Okay, my name is Georgia Hudson, and I'm a wife, a mother of 6 boys and 1 daughter. I've also adopted 4 girls, and I've got about 4 or 5 different generations in my family, and that makes me happy. I'm a singer. I'm a singer because I love to try and sing. I've written a couple of songs, and as a matter of fact, ChyNa don't know this, but I've been trying to put a song together on faith, and the title is it's going to be, if you're going to make it in this world, you've got to have faith.
I say. All right. Thank you, Grandma. All right. Lady Georgia. And now we will allow Agnolia to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Agnolia B. I am an actress. I'm a recently retired 23-and-a-half-year educator. I have a poetry book entitled Thoughts from Within that I published in 2010. And I recently realized that I'm a content creator. I'm an advocate for youth and for educators and parents, and I'm just excited about being on the show today with my beautiful daughter, ChyNa. And thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. So the way that we're going to start today's show is we are going to kind of talk about an experience of mine that kind of led to my first real in-depth conversation with my mom and my grandma about faith as an adult. So I'm 36. I'll be 37 on my birthday this month. I say Aquarius season coming. I said that to say that I used to watch MTV.
Your device to do this.
Uh-oh.
1000.
Shouldn't have that on. Okay. I used to watch MTV's real world. And so on there, they used to do all kinds of travels. Anyway, they did this one where they did semester at sea, and all of the participants, got on this ship, and they went literally around the world for a part of their education. And when I was 14, I said, I'm doing it. When I go to college, I'm doing semester at sea. I'm going whatever it takes, right? Got to college, junior year came. It was time for semester at sea. I got accepted to the program. And once I got accepted to the program, it was like really overwhelming. I think I was the first person like in my immediate family to go out of the country that was not in the military. Right. So it was a big deal. And when you go with the military, there's a lot of training, you know what I'm saying? You're going over there with a big group of people. And, so I was going over there for educational purposes. I was going kind of by myself, you know what I'm saying? I was going with the educational group, but it was not necessarily with a group of people that I knew. Anyway, long story short, we get on this boat for semester C. My mom takes me down there. We've been praying and everything. And I'm on the boat a couple of weeks and a storm happens. This big storm that almost kills everybody on the boat. It was all over the news. And mom is on the TV stations, praying for help and prayers and stuff. It was very serious. Like literally everybody on the boat almost died. I think there were 4 engines on the boat. 3 of them got knocked out. The whole captain's deck window got knocked out. We were like in the middle of like 3 tsunamis. It was insane. It was their first time ever taking that particular route during that time of the year. Why? And long story short, right? So we get through that. And we were supposed to go to we were supposed to go to Korea. We were supposed to go to Japan. And we missed those 2 spots. I was really sad because I really wanted to go to Korea and Japan. But anyway, we missed those 2 spots on the trip. And one of the courses that I was taking on semester C was a religion course. And the reason I was excited about it is because we were allowed to go experience the religion and culture in each country that we went to as part of this course, right? So we get to India. We're in Chennai, India. And at this point, I'm a devout Christian. You know what I'm saying? I was raised as a Christian. My grandma is a deaconess. My grandpa's a deacon. We've been in church my entire life, So like I said, we get to India. There's a temple there, and to be respectful, you're not allowed to enter the temple with your shoes on. So of course, I'm going to be respectful. I take my shoes off, and this temple is beautiful. It has hundreds of deities all over it. It has several towers. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful temple. I walk into the temple, and I immediately feel the presence of God. And I was very offended, right? Because God is not supposed to be in a pagan, Indian temple. God is for the church house. So why did I feel the presence of God in this space? And it threw me for a loop, and I felt very uncomfortable. I was confused. I was baffled, and I was angry because pagans cannot have spirituality like that. That was my mindset. Anyway, long story short, over the course of the semester, we not only visited India, we visited 2 countries in Africa. We went to Brazil, we went to Venezuela. We went to several different places, Vietnam. And in each of these places, I'm allowed to go to different places of worship, go to different spiritual spaces, and just to be an observer, And when I came home, I don't even remember how the conversation started. They might have a better memory than I do of exactly how the conversation started, but I just remember sitting down with grandma and my mom and being like, look, like God is everywhere. What's going on? Like, why am I finding God in these places that the creator is not supposed to be in, right? I don't understand what's going on. And then I went on to tell them, from my research, there are a lot of similarities between the different religions, you know what I'm saying? We have, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, and in these other spiritualities that I'm looking at, like Buddhism and Taoism and Ife and contemplate, all these, not contemplate, but yes, contemplate, yes, all these different, they also have these trinities, right? And a lot of these spiritualities are reflective of that. Right? We have Jehovah Nissi, healer, provider, all those different forms of Jehovah, and that's the same thing that I was finding in these Buddhist temples, right? So you have one, and then you have all of these reflections of God. God is all of these things, right? God is love, God is peace, God is joy, right? And so, but in these other cultures, each reflection of God has its own deity, has its own image, but they are all part of the one, And so as I was learning this, I was really upset. And then I talked to my grandma and my mom, and they were like, they weren't surprised. They were like, yeah, why would you think God is one thing? Right. So I'm like, okay. So I'll let them talk a little bit more about that conversation, because I remember the conversation from my perspective. And when we were getting ready for this show, mom and grandma are both researchers, so they immediately go to the books. But I'm like, grandma, we don't need books. I want to talk to you about what you think faith is. But you know what I'm saying? Faith is based not only on their knowledge and research, but on their personal experience and the combination of those two things. So I could not take away from them their books, and I cannot take away from them their religious background or their understanding, you know what I'm saying, of what spirituality and faith is, because that is kind of what that is, what has grounded them and allowed them to give me the freedom to ground myself. Right. So yeah, I'm ready to let y'all talk. And for those of you who are viewing, I see we got a couple viewers. Feel free to jump in the chat box. We can see you guys. Feel free to add your own comments on faith and things of that nature, or just say hi to us. Okay, so feel free to jump in the chat box. All right, I'm gonna let you guys jump in now. Whoever wants to start first.
I'm gonna let mom start.
Okay, then. I just want to say that for a long time in my life, I didn't even have any idea what faith really was. It was when Maurice Watson became our pastor at St. Mark. And he was teaching in Bible study a lot of things about the Spirit of God and faith and believing. And I began to start doing some research myself, because I became a Sunday school teacher. And in order to teach somebody, I felt like I needed to know what I was talking about, because I didn't want to tell somebody something that I didn't know was true. So I did a lot of research myself, and I found out that faith is, as my daughter was saying, the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. But I also felt that if faith was so powerful that if you could speak to young, if you had it within yourself and you believed in faith, and you could speak to yonder's mountains and tell them to be removed and be thou to the sea, and it shall be done. That's what the Bible says. I'm saying to my pastor, teach us how to have faith. And he started doing some teaching on having faith, and that's one of the things that bothered me for a long time. I wanted to have faith. You know, I always wanted to be patient, because they said patience is long suffering. And my mama used to always say, you know, slave makes a man fear. Fear makes a man a slave. And I found out that faith is considered as, fear is considered as faith, little sister, because faith says you can and fear says you can't. And so sometimes when you have that desire within yourself to want to accomplish something, because the substance of things hoped for faith is stuff that you can't see, things that you want that you don't even know that is there. And so you got to be able to believe in yourself and know that if you have hope, you got to hope for something, which means to desire something, or to have a dream, or to have some goals set for yourself. You know, faith is a real powerful word. And I do believe that if you're going to make it in this world, you really got to have some faith in yourself or in something that is more powerful than you.
Okay.
Okay. I just like to give the definition of faith as complete belief in something or someone. And so as I approached this topic, I definitely wanted to have a working definition of faith. But just to kind of connect with something that ChyNa said, the beautiful thing about ChyNa's whole experience was that trip around the world in 100 days at Semester at Sea created a desire for her to research. And, you know, a lot of times we go to church and we just, or our religious institutions, and we just believe what other people tell us. But what ChyNa came back home with a desire to know the truth. She didn't need somebody to tell her. She was seeking it for herself. And I was okay with that. I was okay with the fact that the things that she had been exposed to in life before, as we went to church, she now kind of questioned. It's okay. It's okay to question that. I myself personally never felt there was a problem with other different beliefs. I feel that whatever you need to move you forward, to help you become who you're supposed to be and accomplish your purpose, then whatever route that is, it's okay. So faith for me, as I experience it, when I think in terms of faith, I have to connect it to what I do. So as an artist, as an actress, when I'm getting ready to do a project, when I'm getting ready to do a play, I walk up in that. I walk in faith. I know that I am going to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. I believe. And so my mother shared those words, believe. She said, trust. You have to, I don't see the end of the play. You know, I don't actually know what it is. I just believe that it is going to be what I want it to be. And for me, that's the faith that I walk in. Whether it's a play or it's a project that I do in the community, when I set forth to do something that I feel is going to make a difference in the lives of someone else, I move forward boldly. And that's what faith does. Faith gives you the boldness, the strength to walk in the knowledge of knowing you don't have to tell me what it's going to be. It is going to be because I believe, because I say it's going to be. And so I trust, I believe, I have complete faith in the things that I am attempting to bring forth. And so when it comes to faith, I just have to go on my experience. So I'm not knowledgeable. I'm not, when it comes to having learned, all the things that go around faith, I don't feel that I'm an expert on faith, but I believe and I walk in it, and I walk in it because that is the experience that has been shown me since I was a child. And that's what Agnolia #1 did. That's what my mother did. There were some things that my mother have experienced. People told her that she could not move into a certain area. When she parked on the wrong side of the road, that, she was told, excuse me, you got the ticket, and so you can't have. And my mother just continued to walk in faith. And
I just wanted to, for sure, I just want to go ahead and interject right quick if I could. Said a second ago that I don't know about faith and I don't feel like I'm equipped, but I wanted to make it very clear that the reason that I asked you to come on the podcast today is because we are living examples of what faith is, right? So every person that I've invited to represent the principles, they are representations of the principles in and of themselves. A lot of times we don't give ourselves credit, right, for the things that we do and the things that we accomplish. So if you're walking in faith, Ashe, you are, you know what I'm saying, a professional. You don't have to have a degree or a certificate for someone to give you for you to be that. So I just wanted to clarify that right quick. And like you did, you gave several examples of grandma's faith, right? I also wanted to say that when I didn't even think about it, but like when I was 14 years old watching Semester of C, and I made the decision that I was going to go to Semester of C my junior year in college. Once I turned 21, from 14 to 21, I made the decision at 14 that I was going to do something at 21. I didn't even know how big of an option.
That's a goal. That's a dream.
And then most Black university don't even try to apply to Semester at C. Had no idea about the thousands of applicants that go in, and that I was in a very small number. I didn't care about any of that. All I knew is that my junior year, I was going to go around the world on semester at sea, right? And I believed in that because when I told my mama and my grandma I was going to do it, they believed me too. Nobody was like, girl, you can't do that. That is what I'm talking about, right? So grandma talks about the faith of a mustard seed, and mom talks about the faith in her plays, but that faith that you all have and those things, not necessarily outside of yourself and your ways of understanding faith, you instill not only in me, but also in the other people that you interact with. Okay. So I also wanted to briefly go over the Kwanzaa definition of faith, right? Because that's kind of, and basically it's the last day of Kwanzaa, usually when they talk about faith, and it means the honoring of our best traditions as a family and a community. We look within and above to strive for a higher level of spirituality and a better life for ourselves and for those around us, right? So, in the Amani understanding of it, right, it's a full circle wholeness thing, right? So I have faith in my not only my personal ability, but the ability of my family and the community and those around me, right? I believe in you. I trust in you. I invest in you, right? So I did want to talk a little bit though about outside of the kind of faith and spirituality, which we've kind of started to talk about a little bit. And you all kind of mentioned, my family has never had an issue. My immediate family on my mom's maternal side, right? We've never really had an issue with you know what? I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and introduce the fourth generation because she keep on jumping in on grandma's time. So hi, greetings.
Hi.
So you trying to talk?
How are you doing? You're here now. What you got to say? Now she don't want to be on here? That's it?
She's playing
Okay.
with her unicorn. She's playing with her unicorn, and she done did something to his face, and he's looked like.
Okay. Oh, with your unicorn. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.
Just before you change the subject, I want to say this. I was 65 years old when I did my first album. I did an album called Now Is the Time. I wrote the song to Now Is the Time, and I also took the Romans roadmap of the plan of salvation and put it into songs. And just before Christmas, you may have heard my Jesus Christ, the Son of God, that I did for Christmas, when you hear people say the reason for the season is Jesus. And I feel like the reason for the season is Jesus, but it's what Jesus came to do is the reason. And when I turned 65 and I did my first album, I also started buying property. And I just want to let you know that, for instance, like there was a time when these companies that I owed this money to for this property, they wanted to foreclose on my property. And I said no. I'm telling you, I said no. And I sat at the table for years, proving to them that I was not going to let them take my property. And that's what my faith was. It was a strong emotion and a feeling of not letting someone do something to me that I refuse to let them do to me. And when you have faith and you don't quit, and you have a desire or a dream or a goal or something that you want to accomplish, and you hang in there, I promise you, you will accomplish it. And that's the most important thing, to move us from where we are to where we are destined to be. And this is what we talked, she was fixing to talk about our ancestors. That's why we are here today. It is the things that they did that made it possible for us to have the opportunities that we have today in order to do the things that they did not have the opportunity to do.
Definitely. Well, the main thing I heard that I feel was like super important from what grandma just said is she said faith and practice, right? So it's one thing to believe, but if you have belief and you're not striving for nothing, you're not trying to go set no goals, you're not trying to get nothing, that's not really faith, right? Faith is a two-part thing, right? So I believe in it and I'm going to get it, right? So a lot of times people think I just have to think it's going to happen, but like you don't believe in it if you're not moving towards it. So that's not really faith, So I definitely agree, and thank you for pointing that out, grandma. Dope.
And the other word for that is action. Action is the other word. That doing
without
is
works
the
is dead.
Yes.
Yeah, faith without works. Yeah. We need action. You need both of them. So so as we kind of transition the conversation more into literal spirituality, less faith in spirituality. So this is always a difficult conversation. I don't know why it's so hard to have like live because other people will be listening. But for lack of a better word, I don't really identify as Christian, and my family knows that because just because of the personal experiences that I've had, the research that I've done, what I know, what I'm aware of, and also what I have experienced in churches. So when I went, like Mama said, I saw this information and I went in search of. I went to look for research, and I still pray and things of that nature. And so when I was praying, I was like, God, like there had to be something that we were doing right before all of this happened, before, what I'm saying? So, because the reason that someone came was because there was the issue between the communication, right? So at some point, communication was good, right? At some point, we were doing everything right in my mind. And so what did that look like? And in what I received was go back very far, go back to ancient knowledge, right? What did our relationships with the creator and the ancestors and the earth in and of itself look like before we had the influence of outside people, before other people were.
I don't know what's on live TV.
She's frozen. She's frozen.
I know. I got to figure out. Can I unfreeze her?
No, it'll happen.
Okay.
For a minute.
Okay. You want to say something while she's frozen?
I wanted to just talk about three things: belief, speaking those things that are not as though they were, and action. And so, again, when we believe in something, then we will speak those things. So to have faith and not speak that truth or speak those things into existence, that for me does not afford the action to happen. So the words and the action have to connect. And so those are the three elements that connect with faith. And those are the things that I have watched my family strive for from the beginning for me, from my early beginnings. And I'm very thankful that I had a praying grandmother who walked in faith, and I have a praying mother who walks in faith. And I try to emulate that. I try to walk in the footsteps and do the things that you did. I see where my grandmother was a pillar in the community and how she, reached out and helped other people. And I see you doing the same thing. And we may be doing it in different ways, but I too. And I believe that is an element of faith, to be able to give back, to be able to help those people in the community who maybe don't quite understand. It's important that we do that.
Yes. Another thing too is the fact that if you want something in life better than what you have, you can get it. You really can. But you have to be able to associate with people that already have the things in life that you want. And when you do that, then these people can give you the information that they had. Some people will and some won't, because information to me is a transferable concept. It's not good to me or anybody else as long as I keep it to myself.
No.
And so,
no. Yes.
It's live?
Yes.
We'll talk.
We are.
Okay.
and so what I'm saying is, when you get to the position in your life where you know something that is important that can help somebody else, don't just try to keep it all for yourself.
Excellent.
Pass it on. Because one of the things that I believe is, for instance, like as a people, we have been kept in the dark about a lot of things that if we had known, we would be a lot better off than we are. And then we got a lot of people who are in that position who have learned the things that they need to know, who have had the faith enough to trust in themselves to go out and go to school, get an education. That is so important. And
Of
that is a
course.
part, there are seven properties of faith, and there are seven. I don't know what they all are, but doing my research, I found out that there are seven properties of faith, and those properties are things that it's not just the one word itself. It's all incorporated into
Working together.
makes life better for whoever has the faith in order to move forward in life and to not only accomplish the things for themselves, because they say in order to have what you want in life, you got to help somebody else get what they want too. So
Exactly.
faith is something that it makes you strong. It makes you powerful. And my daughter has mentioned that. And I do believe that it's important that if we don't have it, we need to figure out a way to get it, and I think you can learn how to have faith the same way that you can learn how to have patience, because in order to accomplish your dreams and goals, patience is one of the things that's going to help you to accomplish that as well. When ChyNa said that when she was 14 years old, she was going to go to semester at sea, and then when she came turning 21, she went to semester at sea, but that was a goal. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that was something that she had looked forward to, and she made it happen. If she had not put forth the efforts and stuff that she that she needed to put forth in order to make it happen when she turned 21, she never would have went to semester at sea. So this is important, that if we work together, and this is one of the things that our ancestors did. I mean, they pulled themselves together and did a lot of things, and a lot of them lost their lives, making it possible for us to be strong and have faith and do the things that we need to do nowadays.
ChyNa, when you left, you were giving us a definition of Imani, of faith, from the Kwanzaa principles.
Okay, let me go.
Could you repeat that, please?
Yes, it says that means honoring our best traditions as a family and community. We look within and above to strive for a higher level of spirituality and a better life for ourselves and those around us. Okay, so belief with all of our hearts and our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, in our righteousness and victory of our struggle. Right. So to me, like faith is almost, it's like purpose. You know what I'm saying? Really understanding what your purpose is, and that takes work. Right. That takes work. It takes understanding of self. And that's one of the conversation that me and Grandma were having at first, when we were kind of talking about what we were going to talk about outside of like faith itself and defining it, things of that nature. But it's really hard to have faith in someone else or in things if you don't have faith in self, right? If you don't believe in yourself. And it's hard to believe in yourself if you don't love and know and trust yourself, right? So the first step really is knowing and understanding who you are, which kind of leads us back to this whole concept of spirituality and how I had to take my own walk, you know what I'm saying? Kind of find what spiritual practices I needed to ground myself. But in that walk, I had support, right? So, and I understand a lot of people don't have support. They have a lot of pushback. Like, why are you doing that? How you? And my family was the exact opposite. They're such nerds. They're like, oh, well, I need that book. What does that say? I need to read that, right? So they want to read everything. Like to this day, I can remember like coming home and, or not home, I'm in my grandma's house, and her studying the Bible for whatever reason. You know, when I was younger, I didn't know, I really understand that she taught Bible school and things of that nature. But I would come home, and besides with the Bible, she would have like 6 other books out. You know what I'm saying? The Bible, the dictionary, some type of companion reader, some random, you know what I'm saying? Not random, you know what I'm saying? But definitely some book that was not necessarily Christian oriented, you know? And so I always understood that you needed outside of the Bible itself to understand the text. You understand? And so as I became learned, you know what I'm saying, and I went to school and things of that nature, they were basically doing the same thing my grandma had been doing since I was 14. You know what I'm saying? You do one book, and then you get other books to better understand this one idea. You know what I'm saying? So that you have a well-rounded interpretation of it. And when you think about faith and spirituality, you need to understand self. You know, how can you understand self if you never the time to do research and to understand what your history is. Why do my people act this way? What experience did we have? You know, so I'm not learning about something, learning about your parenting. You know what I'm saying? And your lineage and where you come from. So there are a lot of steps that have to be taken, self-understanding and that self-healing and spirituality for growth so that you can have faith. Because like people want to make it seem like you just started faith. You know what I'm saying? Like, here we go, we have faith. No, it's a whole process
The word.
to being a person before you can really truly have faith, right? Because we already explained at the beginning that faith is not only believing in anything, but moving towards it.
Right.
You know, another thing that I want to say that ChyNa and I had kind of talked about when she first asked me to do this with her and Agnolia was that do you have to be a Christian to have faith? No, I don't think so. It's better if you are a Christian and you have faith, because then you can have that trust in the higher power. And then one day we were sitting down talking, and ChyNa said, what was it? You said something about the higher power. And I was saying, how are you going to talk about the higher power if you don't have religion, or you can't bring religion into the fact of talking about faith? And so in an everyday life, no matter who you are, God loves us. And I do believe that, for instance, like when he let the sun shine and the wind blow and everything, everybody that breathes that air and enjoy that sunshine and the rain and all of those beautiful things that God has created in this world, it was not just for the ones who accepted him as their personal savior, but it was everyone who was on the earth. But for the ones who did not accept, has the opportunity to. And so I don't think you just really have to be a Christian or a born again child of God in order to have faith, but it's better if you are.
Well, I would just like to add to that, Mom, Lady Georgia. That is a personal perception as well. And so because there are so many faiths and so many beliefs, Creator, Jehovah, God, whatever you call that thing, that person, that higher him, power. That her, that right. And everybody has a choice, and it's okay. And so I would like to liken it to something very simple. I understand that drama and theater are two totally different things, but sometimes I use them, overlapping. Okay. And so, Creator, God, that individual has a right to use whatever terminology that works for them. I just want to be able to use what works for me.
Right. I must say that
and I'm not going to be, I don't have a problem with what works for you.
Me either,
Yeah. I also wanted to say that I feel very blessed because my family, particularly this side of my family, has a very fundamental understanding of what God and who God is. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, has a very fundamental understanding of who God is. And the reason I say that is like there's only one creator, right? And in our mind, there is one creator, there's one energy that has been now, and like as Mom just said, there are several different ways that can be expressed. And I remember when I was first addressed with the idea of, we all across the world, we go to sleep at night. And when we go to sleep at night, we want, our own definition of what a comfortable bed is. You know what I'm saying? Yes. But that the way that we express that term bed is different in almost every language. You know what I'm saying? But when it's time to sleep, we all say bed, and we say it in whatever language that it comes out of. And when you think of God in that way, right? God, whatever language that you understand and you want to interpret or whatever suits you, it's much easier to understand how we relate as opposed to differ, you know? And so I just really appreciate the open-minded understanding of God, right? So my big thing which made it easier for me to kind of transition a little bit away from Christianity is that God is omnipotent, right? God is all knowing and all seeing. God is all powerful, right? God knows, understands, and hears all, you know? And God is omnipotent and all powerful. He understands. She, he, anything, right? Whatever the case may be. God understands. God knows my heart. You know what I'm saying? And God knows what the and so my purpose and my path is driven by that, the creator as well as my ancestors. And so this particular path is so that people understand it's I remember something, how many ways is to skin a cat? How many ways can you skin a cat?
Mm-hmm. How many ways can you send a text?
Skin a cat.
Oh, how many ways can you skin a cat? Oh, my grandma said that there's more than one way. That's all I know. There's more than one.
You can catch him by his ears or you can catch him by his tail.
I say, right? So we got all kinds of ways to skin the cat, right? And so that's kind of my approach, you know, when it comes to spirituality and understanding how people interact with God and creation and nature in general. I just want to say that I'm very grateful to you guys for giving me that kind of foundation. Now, as we kind of wrap it up, because I try to keep everything close to an hour, and we're right at 20 minutes. How can you all plan on like pursuing faith, Imani, in this 2021 new year? I will start, and then you guys can go after me. I'm sorry that I'm having static. Let me turn my volume down. Is this better? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
So, how we having faith in right. So, me, how are we celebrating? So I don't know if you already heard the news, but if you have not heard the news, coming soon. Cultural Immersion Media. I say feel free to go like the Facebook page. You can also have a look at our website. Very in-depth information will be released today. A 5-minute video on what exactly cultural immersion media is. It is a all-new TV streaming network coming to Roku. We are looking for content creators. So if you are a content creator, please go visit the site and go ahead and submit your application so that we can get in contact with you about how to get your amazing content on this all new platform coming to Roku next month in February. Black History Month, we're focusing on Black 365, I say. So go ahead and submit your content. So that is what I'm doing. I'm stepping out on faith. I already know what's going to happen. We're creating this platform so that we can get out here and compete. We can be competitive. We put our information, our work out here without it being filtered and chopped down and deciphered and having everything else done to it before it gets to our audiences, right? So this is our own content that we're allowed to put out. So I'm super, super, super excited about Cultural Immersion Media. Get in. It's our beta. It's our beta. Okay? So get in.
Ashe.
Okay, I'm going to I'm starting gardening again, all over again. I've got 3 raised beds started. 1 is completed. I've got 2 more that I'm going to complete. I'm going to raise my own vegetables and herbs and things that I enjoy messing around with. I also do fix a lot of concoctions with herbs. I've got one that a friend of mine was sent home from her job, said that she had coronavirus, and I gave her some of my elderberry cold, cough, and flu medicine. And I had also made some antibiotics. And when I called her, and I couldn't hardly understand anything that she was saying. And the next morning, I had tried to call her that night before I went to bed, but that next morning she called me and sent me a message and said that she slept like a baby. She stopped coughing, and she just felt so good. She said, "Grandma Georgia, I just appreciate you and thank you so much for the information, for the medicine." Well, she called it medicine. I just called it something that I put together that I learned how to do. Because when I was a little girl growing up, Mama made elderberry wine when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old in the country down there in Lake Village in England, Arkansas. Because the elderberries, grow wild in the fields. But I'm going to do my gardening, and I'm going to finish doing some of my concoctions. And my granddaughter and I, we're going to do some things together too, maybe later on. If the Lord bless.
Also has a TV show coming to cultural emerging media very soon, where we're going to be doing some cooking and let you guys know how to put together some of those tinctures and where you can purchase those items if you just want to watch her do them and then purchase it from her, because sometimes we don't want to do, we just want to watch somebody else do it and then go buy it. That's fine. We'll have all the information for you on her website, and then you'll be able to see her shows on cultural emerging media coming really soon. So we're looking for amazing content once again, and you will be able to see this beautiful young woman on cultural emerging media as well with her granddaughter, right? Her great granddaughter, who's going to be in some of the shows with her, and it's also the namesake of her mom.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Okay. So in the new year, I am starting a new walk, a new journey. So I'm in my 3rd day of retirement, but I'm not really ready to retire in that I'm not just getting ready to sit down. I'm getting ready to do things that Agnolia B has already have always been purposed and destined to do. And so the things that I've done in the classroom with students, it is my desire to take those things and tweak them and flip them. I had a really good semester with face-to-face and virtual students. And there were a lot of students that didn't have a teacher that did the things with them that I did. And so I would love to make myself available to share some things with teachers, to do some workshops, to do some conferences. ChyNa and I plan to put some workshops together, create some workbooks that help teachers understand how to utilize different approaches to teaching and learning. So we're definitely going to do that, but I'm an actress who happens to teach. So there's a one-woman show in me. And we're going to walk in faith, knowing that that one-woman show, that play that I never got a chance to do. I got a couple of talk shows that I'm getting ready to air, one being Teacher Impact. I'm going to reach out to my students, and there are several students that have stayed connected with me, and we want to talk about why it is important to have a teacher that makes a positive difference, as well as poetry has always been very a passion of mine. And I've always wanted to sit down at a round table with sisters and just share our poetry together. And so we're going to do interactive literature. And so we might start out just me and another guest, and then we may have a table full of guests. But I'm excited about walking in the new year, doing something new and different that is not only fulfilling for others, but also fulfilling for me. So that's what I'm doing.
Ashe. So as you can see, we have a lot of plans based on faith for the new year, right? We see the things that we want and we are moving towards them. And with that, I also want the viewers, to understand that like faith is something that you're constantly growing into. You know, it seems like as soon as you get it packed down for one thing, the goal gets bigger. Then the fear, right? The baby sister of fate comes, she rises her head back up again. You know, that fear get back in your heart, and you know, you gotta double check yourself. Well, can I really do this? You know, this is a lot bigger than the last thing that I was trying to accomplish. And we kind of have to go through that whole process of understanding and believing in self and just walking that path again. So this season we are committed to walking the path, and we are walking as a team. So I'm super excited. This is my faith team right here. We're going to get stuff done this year. Ashe, you know, we ain't going to just talk about it. We're going to be about it. So we encourage you also do that, right? Understand that faith is a 2-part, or actually 7-part, according to Grandma, right? A 7-part. We're going to find that link for you and try to put it in the comments. A 7-part. But, you know, at least a 2-part, you know, process where you believe and then you take action towards those beliefs. Okay.
And speak. Don't forget, you can't just believe. You got to speak those things.
Right. Speaking into existence. Right. Speaking into existence and go after it.
You got to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere. Ashe. So I just wanted to say thank you again to my beautiful family for, you know, having this conversation on faith and what it means and what it takes to, you know, to move in faith and to move towards faith. So we will see you guys next time on Educeumm. Peace, love, and light.
Ashe.
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 Okay.